Ladies and gentlemen of Azeroth, welcome back to another super hot fire episode of Good Morning Azeroth, episode 42. The date is February 15th, 2020. What a time to be alive. I'm surrounded by some of the best people on the planet Earth. Let's be honest here, guys. I am beyond excited. I'm actually sick. I might have coronavirus, but I'm surrounded by
too much Corona, man. You know,
too much Corona. So, yeah, right. I usually have Modelo virus, but today I have coronavirus. DevCamp, Melderon, Ayle, the whole chat community, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. Woo! The one guy watching on D Live, the one guy watching on Mob Crush. Thank you. I appreciate all of you guys. Welcome back. We're back. Good morning, Azeroth 42. How the hell are you guys?
I'm doing fantastic, baby.
Yeah, very, very invigorated with two things: new raid tier and something we have to talk about as well afterwards. But
yes.
I feel very invigorated right now. Yeah.
Can I just say, rejuvenating gem? I got one, baby. Hell yeah!
It's almost like you've been hit with an IRL rejuvenating gem. Too,
I have been hit with an IRL rejuvenating gem. I got one in game and in real life. Much thanks to Cargos as well, and much thanks to BWL coming out. I'm just so hyped. I'm loving doing this. We're progressing through BWL. We have Cargos in our raid. You have to watch Ayle kick some ass there as well.
I carried him through BWL, boys, with my fat 300 DPS.
He did,
my 300 DPS slaps, dude. I just go ahead and handed him the rejuve gem, And we got it. Oh, yeah, dude, DevCamp, man, you are so hyped today. It's making me hyped. I think you're actually curing me, bro. I think you're legitimately casting a fucking, renew on me.
I'll hit you, baby, with that renew. I got you.
Hold on. Let's get Ayle to do his.
Oh yeah. Ayle's doing Good Morning Azeroth, right? He's doing this. No. What's up, Ayle?
Hey, man. Yeah, feels great to be in BWL finally. I agree. No rejuve gem for us, but feeling good still.
We love to see it. Yo, guys, can we get some big pumper spam in the chat for Ayle, dude? Top 5 world raider right here. BWL race contender. Big slapper.
Slaps.
Made it up into the ONSLAUGHT GOAT, elite special task force Navy SEAL, group, and made it in there. Cleared out
freshly showered.
All that sweat. The sweat has not taken its toll on him. He is looking crispy. You probably got some female fans out in the audience. All 1%.
Oh, you know it. He's got a male fan right here too, baby.
We love to see it. Yo, good to have you on here, Ayle. We're gonna be talking about all kinds of stuff. Melderon, Doc, Mr. Boomer, as they say, whatever you want to call him. How are you today, man?
Dude, I am feeling great. Like I said, invigorated, rejuvenated. Even though I didn't get the gem, the friggin' priest got it. But I'm great, dude. I've been it's one of those times where I think the game is taking such a awesome turn. One, because of a actual content phase, but a second because of community-produced content. So, which is the dream, right? We always wanted to talk about how community-based content can shift the game meta. So, yeah, I'm just feeling great. Yeah,
guys, I'm itching to do it. I'm itching.
Just fucking hit him with it, dude. I'm not just fucking hit him with it, man. Just
you guys
go
ready?
For it, dude. Just go.
You guys
for
ready?
It. And SF, it's about to get. It's careful for your eardrums. Rip your eardrums. Let's go. I'm taking the L though. Hit him with it.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Good morning, guys. BWL here, man. Yes, it is hardcore.
He's getting revenge on the neighbors upstairs, yo. They're like, what the fuck?
We just woke up with
That felt so good.
That's funny,
so
good. That was awesome.
Oh, I was deep inside. I had to wake it out. Yes, hardcore mode. Yeah. That's right, baby.
Hardcore mode. We're talking about all kinds of stuff. Hardcore mode is the future. Hell yeah. So here's our agenda today, guys. GMA 42. We've been doing this over a year now, again, surrounded by the best people on the planet Earth. I hope everybody's doing well, and thank you very much for tuning in and your continued support. Our agenda for today is we're going to talk about BWL. Again, we have a very special guest, Ayle, here. So if you guys have any questions for official big slapper, please direct them to the chat, and we will try to maybe field some of these if they're spicy enough. We also will talk about BWL, Race the World First, new raid. How's everyone doing? Is it going good? Is it going bad? We're going to talk about the state of the game, kind of tie into that, and then we're going to move into some spicy hardcore mode announcements. Yes. So let's start with BWL. Let's get right into it. Ayle, give us, take us into your mindset, man. How are you feeling about things?
Overall, our performance, we're very happy with. For those who don't know, I raid with ONSLAUGHT, the U.S. North America #1 speed clearing guild at the moment for BWL.
Big boys.
And we had planned to go in and to compete for World First, and unfortunately, we ran into some issues which really prevented us from being able to compete. So that was a bit of a letdown, but overall, we did we did really well. I don't think we had like I think 2 deaths, and those were kind of ways to save us. It's actually a pretty good story. I don't know if you want me to recount the whole tale or not.
Oh, please do.
Before you do that, we got music is too loud. Cargos.
Yeah, I just put it down like 30%.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I want to hear a story, baby. I want to hear.
Yeah. So our plan was that we ended up clearing 4 separate UBRS raids, and we had 10 mans in each raids waiting at the portal in UBRS to zone into BWL. Reason we did this is that we didn't want to be griefed outside the portal getting in. Even our own faction griefing.
The orb, right? What about the orb? Yeah, exactly.
The orb, yeah, clicking the orb. There were people saying they're just going to plant like 10, Torrens on it and just make it really difficult, right? And lag it out and things like that. Some servers took an hour to even just get in the portal just due to the chaos outside. So we're waiting at the portal. 2 minutes before, we hear people are getting in, right? They're clicking and getting in, and we're like, oh, the portal isn't working. What's going on? Like, we can't get in. So they call it, okay, run back to the start. We're gonna have to use the orb, right? The portal isn't working. So we're like, shit. So we run back to the start, and right as we're getting there, it's turn of the hour. Instance should be open. Someone says, well, what if the portal doesn't open till the turn of the hour? So we're like, okay, run back and try again, right? Like, run back and try again. So we ran all the way back to the portal, tried again, still didn't work. So then we ended up running out. On our way out, we get the call that there's 2 Alliance raids out there. For whatever reason, all the Alliance left on Scarum banded together, went out there and just meat grindered all the Horde waiting. 2 full raids just went and wiped everybody, right?
Wow.
And so we're running towards the portal, and we're just like, oh shit, like it's over before it started, right? It's gonna be done. But the call went out. Warriors out first, shield wall sapper, get out there. We just obliterated them. Fully world buff raid. We just cleared 2 full Alliance raids. Just
that sounds so juicy. Is like a clip of that exists?
I linked Ayle's channel in the chat, in the YouTube chat. Maybe put it in.
I don't think that's the one, because we actually ended up doing it again later due to some of the issues we had. The first one was incredible. Like I said, all our warriors out first, shield wall sapper. They blew all their cooldowns on our shield walled warriors, and then we just mopped them up, right, and pushed them to the portal.
The thing is, you all had world buffs too, man. Did you lose anybody? Somebody's got to take an L in a team fight, man.
We lost 1 player. Only one player.
Who was he, bro?
40 versus 80.
F's in the chat for that guy. Who was he? You remember?
Yeah, I think it was our Warlock Faf.
Fort
man, my Warlock battle brother, dude.
Now, before you go any further, I'm going to give you guys a strat, something that I think could have helped you if you knew this. I got to give big ups to Bell. So if you log your guy out right in front of the portal to click to get in BWL, and you log in instantly, no one else is there for a split second. No one else has loaded in yet, so you can see the orb without anyone there, and you can click it and get in, no problem.
Wow.
So you just log out in front of the portal, log out in front of the orb, log back in, and before anyone renders, you can click the portal and hit it and get right in.
That's incredible.
Shout outs to Bell. Yeah, there he is in chat. Wow. There he is, yeah. Big brain there, baby.
That's a good tip. Might have to use that in the future.
Yeah, people were having trouble clicking it, right? I remember in the raid. He came in the chat, yeah. Absolutely, man. So, I mean, in the on-top perspective, are you guys like cool as a cucumber while this is all happening? You guys are probably prepared for weeks, if not months at this point, for this very special moment. Like, is it... only reason I say that is because when I was doing ZF Farm with you guys on that week 1, I swear to God, they were like special forces. Everybody, they weren't even talking. Like, they were just so, like,
man,
their heartbeat was like 50. That's what I felt like. Their heart rate, yeah.
Man, we're well trained because it was very, very quiet over Discord. But I was freaking out. There was like, we don't talk in comms, but there was some party chat just like, no, like shit. Like, when you're watching those like war movies before they go into the jungle, right, where everybody's just like freaking out. That people were freaking out like in chat, but like, it was calm over Discord. There was no clear comms. It was just okay, what do we do? And I think that's really important. Kind of almost like in the army where you need to follow the leader without question no matter what and try not to freak out, right? So that was the thing. We were able to like just go with it, right? Even though all of us were like just, you know, I was losing it. I'm just like, this is we're screwed, right?
Yeah.
You know, but we managed to get through that and zone in. And that was actually a lot of fun. It's kind of funny that we were trying to avoid that just to be able to get in and clear it fast. Then we ended up getting forced to do it. That makes it really memorable and fun.
Yeah.
We zoned in. We were able to do Razor Gore. It was a lot different than what we remember from private servers.
Oh,
like some
yeah.
of the dragons couldn't be slowed, and they spawn differently. They just butt rush the orb handler, things like that.
Phase
But nothing
2.
we weren't able to overcome. Like we're
Yeah.
fully juiced up, world buff, every world buff you can get, 10% damage, you know, Darkmoon Fair, everything.
Yep.
We kill Razor Gore, and we don't stop, right? So our plan was we're going to speed run this first time.
Right.
So we run into Vale, and we hear a call out. The ads are still spawning,
Oh,
and we're like,
the
what?
Razor Gore ads are
Yeah, and
spawning
we're
in
like,
Vale.
what's going on? And so we're at we're at Vale. We've already talked to him, and
Right.
what do we do? The ads are pouring in the door. So they're like, okay, you know, warriors, get to the door, start killing these guys. So we're killing them, and then I think Salvador calls out, should we zone out and try to reset? And just as he says that, Essence of the Red pops because we pulled Vale, right? So they're like, no, gotta kill Vale, like kill Vale now. So we run back on Vale, start killing Vale. One of our mages goes and basically AoE's the door, Frost Nova, Cold Snap, Frost Nova, Blizzard, holding all the ads in place. He ends up getting killed. We kill Vale in like 30 or 40 seconds because we're fully juiced up. And we start killing the ads, right? Kill the ads. But there's just too many of them. So at that point, the call is made. We got to run out and try and reset the instance somehow. Like hopefully we all zone out and it'll stop, right? So we like Piercing Howl, Fear, you know. Well, I don't think anybody had Piercing Howl, but you know, Frost Nova, just get out of the instance. We all run out of the instance. The Alliance had like just rest. They're like half health. They're like bandaging, drinking potions, and we just pain train them again. Just lawnmower, just
they deserve it.
Just murder the half health again, and just like we're like, okay, you know, back to the orb. Let's go back in. It must have been the funniest thing because it's like, you know, they just get back. They get steamrolled by Onslaught. Onslaught all zones out, kills them again. They must be just wondering, what the hell is going on here? Like, they're just griefing us for no reason. Like, I thought these guys were going to try to be first, right? So we zone out. We go back in. We think the ads have stopped spawning. We run into Razor Gore's room. They start spawning again.
What?
Yeah.
And at this point,
So-
Vale's dead already, too.
Vale's
right?
dead. Our Essence of the Red, I think, is ticked down. And we're like, we're kind of confused of what to do right now. And we're just like, okay, well, we're killing them. They're still spawning. Just run to Vale's room, upper level. Like, maybe we can try and, you know, kite them around Vale's room while we kill the trash pack or something. Like, no one really knew what to do. We run into Vale's room on the second level, and we kill the ones that are left, and they actually stop aggroing us. So they're spawned while there's people in the room, or like the bottom of the level of Vale's room, but once you're off there, they like stop spawning.
Wow.
Right?
Which was not supposed to happen at all. Like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so for people who don't know...
Just wait, it gets worse. Matt.
It gets worse than this?
Yes,
Nah.
yes. Well, the suppression
Yeah.
room was kind of wonky, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so after that, you know, we're a little bit rattled, but we're just like, we just put our heads down, get to work. We're going to try and do a skip pull in the next room. Basically, Hunter pulls the packs, runs away, and then feign deaths, and we all run by.
Right.
As we're doing that, one of the mob like AoE fireballs our whole raid, so we can't do that. So we end up killing that pack, and which is good. That'll come into play later. We go in, and our plan was in the suppression room. We're going to go up the left side, right?
Which
the
was
fastest
our
way.
plan. But we didn't do that
Straight-
because of what we heard. Yeah.
Straight beeline. We're going to be no problem. We start going up the left side. We hear somebody say, "The whole top level's coming." We pull the top level. And we're just like,
oh my god.
what?
So, Doc can actually call that. We were doing a Race to World First coverage, which ended up being really, really fun, by the way. I think I'm going to do that for every single new raid. But Dockin was saying if they pull the second level, that could be a huge like pain point that could, you know, determine how things shape out. And
Right.
he pretty much called that, and it happened to you guys, yeah.
And the funniest thing was too is that when I played originally in vanilla, we didn't go up the left side. We always went up the right side.
Yeah.
And like thinking about it when I played on a private server, I was like, I don't know why we did that. This is just way faster.
Right.
But now I know it's probably because people would go up the left and you just get insta-gibbed by the whole top level, right?
I had no idea. So we were ready to go up the left because that was how I did it on private servers as well. And the other one's like, no, do not go up the left side. It's bugged.
Yeah.
So thanks to you, Ayle, we saved our first.
Or a
time.
sacrificial lamb.
We heard some alliance guilds were able to go up the left, but I don't know for sure. I don't know if it's totems pulling.
Someone said totems,
or
yeah.
multi-shot or something. Who knows, right? So at this point, they're like, okay, we got to zone out again. We got to zone out. You know, we're zone out. We pull the whole top level. So we run down. We get to the top level of Vale's room, and the whole top level resets.
What?
So,
wait, the whole top level? You mean the ads?
yeah, the ads de-aggro for whatever reason. So it's for whatever reason, getting into Vale's room like resets everything, like the top level, right?
Huh.
So we get in there, they reset. One of our warriors actually stayed back, AoE taunted and shield walled just to prevent the
Oh, your
ads from
buffs,
getting on
right.
people. So BTZ actually like did the ultimate sacrifice for a raid, stayed back, like superhero, dies, right? And basically saved the rest of the raid from dying. And like for the people who know about the speedrun and the ultimate thing, like the world buffs are so strong, losing them is a huge detriment. You know, getting rid of that, you wouldn't be able to compete with everybody else who has them. So we really need to keep those. So that screwed us over again, kind of, but like maybe that's the way that it works. So, you know, after that, the call goes out. Okay, we're doing it. You know, boomer style, 2003. We're going up the right side. And, you know, there's a little bit of a cheer, like yeah, like.
Did you think you guys were out of the
do
race
this.
for a while? Like, did you think it was
Yeah.
GG? Was that
Yeah.
going through your mind? I mean, that this is we're not even going to be, you know, top 10 at all or anything like that. Yeah.
There were some comments of people saying like, you know, all guilds are already on Fire Maw, and you know they're just like, you know what, just don't worry about that. Just keep focusing, doing what we're gonna do, right? Like
Right.
at this point, we still have to try the best we can, right? We've basically had like 3 or 4 different setbacks, but you know, the leadership kept us very focused on just keep pushing, right? Like, don't worry about that other stuff. Just do what you can control. And so we ended up going through after that. It was a very clean after that. I don't think really anything memorable. We one-shot every boss. I think we had one more death maybe. Our strategy execution was perfect. We're very happy. Like, looking back at the logs afterwards, we had the fastest Broodlord to Neff out of any guild, even faster
Wow.
than Apes.
Wow.
Really?
So, yeah.
Holy shit! What breaths did you get for Chromagus? Well, just wondering, did you have? Did you get lucky?
We had the poison armor one, corrosive acid,
Corrosive acid breath,
Yeah.
yeah.
and then one of the fire ones. I can't
Okay,
remember,
good. So you got lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you and Abe should have been the contenders, honestly, because like I think so. I mean, like, yeah,
Maybe.
I know everyone's gonna
I-
say like there's this random factor that can happen, but
I don't like to play should'ves because there was all sorts of guilds that had issues. Like Apes pulled the top level and they AoE'd it down and killed it. Right?
Wait,
Wow.
with all the worm kids and everything?
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy
They
shit!
they AoE taunted, shield walled, sappered, killed everything.
Oh my god!
We didn't have sappers up because we had been, you know, boot stomping the alliance.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know, so it's kind of like we're really happy with our performance.
Yeah.
There's no should'ves, there's no do-overs. Nobody cares about the stuff that happened. Everybody had issues. I wish it could have been an even playing field, but you know, we'll have to try better next time, honestly.
Yeah.
Or try again next time, you know, when A2 comes out. So we're happy with how we performed. We wish there could have been an even playing field. There wasn't, but you know, everybody
It's part of
had
the game,
issues.
you know?
What
Yeah,
would
exactly.
you have to if you had to, like, in the most succinct way possible, explain what was making it not an even playing field? How would you TLDR that?
Well, the main issue for us is that Razor ads didn't stop spawning, and this happened to a few other guilds, but every guild that placed above us basically didn't have this issue.
Okay, so they didn't have the Razor ad issue.
Yeah,
Okay. Makes sense. Well, I mean, congrats, man. Top 5 world. Can you imagine, guys? They're sort of somewhat disappointed with top 5 world because they literally go for number 1. If I got top 5 world, man, you're just walking around, like a champion. Like that's amazing. And so big congrats there. From the outside, watching it, Ayle, this is the first time I did like a world first coverage or whatever on my channel with BWL. It ended up being pretty hype, man. It was pretty exciting to watch, and it came down to it was seconds, not minutes. Like it actually the production value was pretty scuffed because we just whipped it up really quickly. But I could see in the future, the classic races to first clears on servers, even if it was just a fresh server, like a server first. It doesn't have to be world first or whatever, right? In the future, could be pretty hype. There's a lot of drama and I don't know. It was pretty.
A lot of shit that goes on. It's very and I here's as someone who has the utmost respect for what you guys are doing. Like, it's really cool to see because we have our style of doing. Like, I'm very much lax. We want to progress, and then there's this whole other aspect of the game where you got everyone just goes balls to the wall and tries their hardest and does all this. And like you said, you have all these other factors that could happen, and I think that's kind of the exciting part about it is and with BWL, something that I love about BWL is every week you go in there, it's something different, right? Especially with Chromagus or in Neff as well with the ads and stuff like that. So I think that part of it is really cool too. So I'm sure you guys would do just as well, no matter what friggin' Chromagus was doing. But I think the fact that you guys overcame what you overcame and still got top 5 is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty happy with it, especially not losing very many people. And the hardcore veil that we did with all the ads trailing in. I think there's a really good clip out there of Salvador freaking out because it's just what do you do, right? It was fun and memorable BWL for a lot of different reasons for us, but it feels really good to have a new raid tier and all this new content out. And I think everybody is really pumped right now. I'm excited.
If you guys had to guess, all right, we get around in the community, we talk to a bunch of people. This is a question for the chat too. Please, chat, wake up, posture check, type something in the chat if you're a live, conscious, sentient human being. How do you feel about the hype levels with Classic WoW with BWL out? Does it feel like a lot of people are coming back, or does it feel like a lot of people in your guild who are raid logging are kind of waking up again, coming back to the game, getting excited again, or maybe not so much? I'm not sure. You guys, what do you guys think?
I think BWL invigorates the entire game, and watching the speedruns invigorated me. Seeing a world-class group. I'm very biased, you guys know that. But I was rooting for Horde NA is my home, dude. That's I was rooting for you guys 100%. And I seeing what you guys did, and Apes. I'm gonna give Apes a ton of credit as well because they lost a lot of people outside because their Horde killed a lot of people out there. So those two guilds, I want to give a lot of credit to Apes and Onslaught for the stuff they went through. Other guilds, of course, had issues as well. But seeing that, and this is why I'm making a video about this tomorrow. This is why one raid difficulty is so fucking important, because you have one raid difficulty, everyone's doing the same raid, and you see these people doing this, but you're going to the same raid as them.
Yeah.
It's not, you know what I mean? It's not mythic, it's not heroic. It's everyone's on the same level, right? And the only way you can improve is by either reducing the time you clear or by trying different spec rotations, let's do a full meme build or whatever. That's where the competition is breeded in Classic WoW. And I think that's so awesome because everyone's so detached from these mythic runs, Mythic World First, because most people aren't doing Mythic, but everyone's doing BWL, right? And it's just so important. It's so important for the game, and this is why one raid difficulty is so good.
And I think for us too, for me, I feel I never got to do BWL in vanilla, right? I did it in private servers, which was amazing and all. But I think Cargos and Meldron, you guys remember, while we were clearing BWL, I said, everyone, take a second and just look that we're in fucking BWL in Classic WoW. Go back a year ago to where we were all hoping and dreaming for Classic WoW, couldn't wait for it, and now we're clearing one of the most iconic raids in Classic WoW. You know, we were in the room with all the the best raid, dude, the best raid in Classic. I mean, like when we're going through the packs with all the alchemists, you know, and the goblins, the lava, the dynamite packs, shit like that, like.
Lab packs, yeah.
It's so cool looking. Like you were just running through there, and then you have the dragons, fire after Broodlord, you have Fireball, all that. Like, you know, and like listen, we're not a hardcore raid, we're not a hardcore guild, but we had a lot of people in there who it was their first time in BWL. We had a lot of people in there who it was, you know, they played in Classic or whatever, and they haven't played for 10 or 15 years, whatever. And yeah, we wiped a couple times on Razor Gore. We got used to it. We got Veil down after like 3 or 4 kills. Like we had tanks learning, doing the fights for the first time. You know, watching people get this, like, you know, and my job was to give out the strategy and then watch everyone learn. And I love seeing people from the point where they know nothing and then them overcoming it. Like I love overcoming these obstacles, like Fireball, like getting out so we can figure out where you know where we could LOS and still heal and do all this, and Gray's, you know, figuring out like how to tank it and do all this, and like he did such a good job tanking it, and like everyone getting to the point we got to, and we only got to Chromagus, so we stopped at Chromagus. We're going back in on Monday, do Chromagus and Neff, and just to get to that point where we were, like, I'm just so happy and proud of what we did. At the same time, though, you have people doing what you know what Ayle is doing, and it's so cool. You have people on so many different levels experiencing it in their own way.
Mm-hmm. Yet there's only one level of difficulty, though.
Exactly.
Right?
No,
Exactly.
You killed it with what you just said there, Melderon. The in music was pumping behind you too, like emphasizing what you were saying. I couldn't agree more, man. Like the one raid difficulty is the way, man. I never was able to super get into it with the new ones. I know Blizzard has their reasoning, but.
Yeah, they want to appease the masses. I understand that. Some people don't have the time to get into a raid of a guild of 40 people. I get that. I'm not like totally blind to that. But you know what retail did do well was make dungeons harder, like mythic dungeons. I think that's a great idea. So if you can combine those two things and have like really hard dungeons and really hard raids that are kind of the same level of play, you know. But that's neither here nor there. It doesn't really happen in Classic. But you always have something to aspire to. Either whether you're a super casual guild going into BWL for the first time, it's still the same raid that Onslaught did or Apes did, right? Yeah. It's the same raid.
And you can appreciate their play more because you can kind of see what it would be like for, you know, like you'd be scratching your head like, oh, how did they clear that so fast?
Yeah, exactly. 30 minutes or whatever,
Doesn't feel detached. Yo, Ayle, do you think, was there anything, you know, interesting about BWL? Was it harder or easier than private servers? You know, was it, you know, anything interesting at all that you took away from it? Unique challenges or stuff that was easier?
There were parts that were harder and parts that were easier for sure. Well, I was trying to think, like, for example, like the first phase of Razor Gore, just that the ads, like Beeline and the Dragon King can't be slowed, they seem to have more hit points or more armor or something as well. That was a little bit tougher. Yeah. You know, Veil, he's the same kind of monster that he's always been. You know, such a really important threat fight. So fun with the infinite resources kind of thing.
Yeah. I thought the trash was a lot harder. What do you think, Al? The trash?
No, it was easier than private servers.
A lot easier. Yeah.
It's tough for me to say on that because, like you said, we played so flawlessly and we were so world buff that we just stomped everything, right? We kill anything before it's much of an issue. The one I'm trying to think, there was one fight that was harder.
Firemaw.
Firemaw, it was harder, yeah, because his buffet stacks a lot more than
frequently
people were expecting. So it's every 2 seconds. That was discovered in private servers really late after I think they'd already kind of gone through their run where they discovered a video. The buffet actually stacks a lot more. So I think a lot of guilds are going to have trouble with Firemaw unexpectedly.
We did.
Veil's tough. You know, if you can get past Veil, Firemaw's kind of the next one that's going to be a challenge. And then, you know, Chromagus, he's also tough. So having fire resist, I think, will help you a lot in Firemaw, especially the tanks need it. We just did the meat grinder strat where everybody stayed in. We had everybody in like 300 FR, right? So
everybody
stayed in.
Did you guys have the buff removers as well?
Sorry, I don't know if you
It's your dog. You're always
It's your
biting the
dog,
toy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yo,
Did
what
you guys
about
do your first ball?
the box of chocolates and the Valentine's Day stuff? You think that actually helped a lot? Those things are pretty strong.
They are, but for a lot of our warriors and things like that, we're already at buff cap. We have it all
Buff cap,
spreadsheeted out, right?
okay.
So, some people had them on, so they were like the first ones to fall off. I think they are strong. Like for the other classes, they could use them definitely. But like for warriors, I think most of us ended up losing the buff like right away as soon as Flurry went Fury proc, because you only have 32 buffs you can allow in classic, and a lot of things can happen.
True.
Yeah. Even if you get like we were did the warrior deep dive, like even some of your abilities, like Bloodthirst gives a buff that you have to wipe off, right? Because it'll pop your buff cap. Like it's incredible. The amount of like what warriors have to go through to optimally DPS when it comes to that kind of stuff is insane.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah. God forbid a priest puts renew on you or something like that. No. It's like,
Yeah, hots are banned. No hots allowed for us.
Yeah.
Because
No
it'll-
hots allowed. Damn.
No hots allowed.
Yo, what is Did you get anything? Ayle?
No, I didn't. I think overall the loot was. We got the really good healing pants off Chromagus. I think that was the only thing noteworthy of our whole raid. I'm pretty sure.
Wow, we got some good loot.
The only thing
actually,
people were really excited about.
Yeah, we got some
No
good
big
loot.
weapons or anything, or
Did Meldron, did you get the shield?
No,
I lost it.
Baraka got it.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah,
It's honestly it's not really an upgrade. It's kind of a downgrade actually, because it gives way less plus healing. It doesn't give MP5, and it's good for PvP though. Definitely good for PvP. So
guess what I got
PvP.
though, guys?
Yeah, guess what Def Camp got?
Rejuvenating gem. Oh yeah.
This
It's,
forever.
you dude,
Yeah.
it's like I was wanting cauterizing band for so long. I'm like, fuck it now. I got rejuvenating gem. Who gives a shit about? I mean, I would still love a cauterizing band.
Sorry, let me clarify. I was comparing it to Lay the Life Giver. Sorry, if people were
Oh,
like,
right,
what do you
the
mean it's a
shield,
downgrade?
right,
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
comparing it to.
The
Sorry.
shield looks awesome though. It
Yeah,
looks.
It does.
No, it's a great
It
shield.
looks
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, I gotta say. So this was my first time raiding, guys, in I think maybe 2 months, maybe even more. I think it was 2 months though. I haven't raided, and Def Camp and Melderon, they hooked it up, man. I'm in the raid now, so I was raiding with them for the first time, and my warlock was 8 up, man. Like I had no band-aids, no gold. Like I barely made it, dude. Like
You were pulling threat though. Definitely.
Oh yeah.
was I really? I don't even know, man. I felt.
I think you
just-
pulled once or twice. Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty naked in there, but it was really cool raiding with these guys, and I gotta say, Def Camp is different in the raid, man. In a good way, though. This guy is like, got the upper management all over him, man. He's like really dictating the ebb and flow of the raid. Meldron too, of course, right? But I kind of expected that. Def Camp is a whole nother monster in the raid. You're killing it, man. Explaining the fights and
Thank you.
just really stepping up, man. Like it was cool. I enjoyed raiding with you guys. Got a really good vibe in that group.
Appreciate it.
Each kill was everybody was really happy with each kill.
Yeah.
They were appreciating
Yeah.
The morale.
We
was
try to
high.
have fun, but also keep it.
Well, limit stupid stuff, right? It's like if just watch your threat meters. Like don't ass pull stuff. Move as a group, like just normal stuff like that. Like everything else is kind of like whatever. We don't require world buffs. We don't we just want to get bosses down, and it felt good to wipe again, man. It felt great to wipe again.
It felt good to actually progress through a raid, and a lot of people's we had to limit some people's expectations because we're so used to molten core and just rolling through shit, and people are like, listen, you wipe 3-4 times, whatever. It's like, hey man, this is part of the game, and when you have 40 people as well that you're trying to
Keep
help
morale
through
high.
and keep morale high. It's a lot you have to do. You have to keep people going. Say, listen, guys, let's get in there, try it again. Let's get another attempt, and not get too hot-headed or not get too demoralized. And you want to keep going. And when you finally get that boss down that you wiped 3 or 4 times on whatever, it feels so good, right?
Yeah.
It feels so fucking good.
I think the biggest challenge is running a guild like ours, or a raid like ours, because Ayle's raid, everyone knows their place and their role. Everyone is expected to do a certain amount of output, and I think that's almost easier. And then on the flip side, you have a casual guild that doesn't give a crap, right? They're just there to have fun. We're somewhere in the middle, so you have to somehow gauge everyone's expectations. You have people in there who don't want to wipe it all, and are on top of their shit. You have people in there that are like, oh, I'm in BWL, this is amazing, and they just want to be there. So it's actually very difficult to kind of wrangle all those expectations. And we try to do the best we can, but it's never going to be perfect, ever, or maybe even near perfect. So, that's just the way you got to roll in a raid like that,
But at the end of the day, we always end up having fun, and we always end up, we have a really great group of people. We have a lot of great leaders. Like we have Graze, who's in charge of tanking, and Graze is someone who I don't think he has that much experience raiding in Classic, but he steps up when you need him to, right? Like he really understands a lot of the fights and does his homework. And even if he doesn't know that much, he really learns quickly, right, on the flow. Like he'll figure out what he's got to do. And we have Fane and Sarmi tanking with him as well. So it's a great group of.
I didn't realize how many people you have in that raid that I recognize from YouTube and Twitch. It's kind of fucking insane, dude. I'm in there, I'm looking at the raid frames. I'm like, yo, Vomp sitting here? What the fuck? Yo, I see all the Kegos in here. You got Sarmi in here. Everybody from the YouTube. I remember them from a couple months ago are now all in the same raid. It feels good, man. I'm happy to be there.
Hopefully one day we'll have Ayle Shaman.
I know, right?
It's looking good. I mean, the BWL stuff is exciting for.
Well, someone asked which is the hardest boss in BWL. What do you guys? So I personally feel like, depending on the breaths, I feel like Chromagus can be harder than Neff sometimes. I remember on BWL when we were doing it, we wiped more on Chromagus than we did on Neff, especially having the time. If you ever got the time lapse, the time lapse fucking breath is such a pain in the ass if the DPS doesn't know what they're doing. Really, Ayle, what do you think?
Yeah, like a time lapse. What's the not Frostburn, the armor debuff one?
The acid one does the armor. Yeah.
Like there's a couple of breath combos that you can get with Chromagus that's brutal. And just because of the way the time lapse is so different than the other breaths. The other breaths they're all kind of the same. Everybody stays in.
Right.
Everybody runs out and then tank takes it, you run back in.
Yeah.
Time lapse. There's a few different ways to do it, but I think generally DPS stays in, right? Just having that, especially the surprise too, because for a lot of people who haven't done it before, are you going to be able to explain to them the 6 different breaths and all the combos and the different things that you need to watch out for? Like it's a lot to process, and I think Chromagus. It feels like if guilds can get Chromagus down, you can get Neff down.
Yeah.
So I think probably Chromagus. Veil is tough though. Veil is tough.
We actually didn't wipe that much on Veil.
Yeah, it was pretty chill.
What 3 or 4 times I think, and we got it.
I think we 2 or 3 shot him. Yeah,
and I think it's a lot because when you have really high DPS, you have a lot of warriors and shit. Just chunking through those fucking it's
that's what makes it tough though, because it's a huge threat fight, right? So really that comes Veil's like a tank and healer fight, because if your tanks can hold aggro and your healers can keep everybody up, you're going to kill it. So that's probably kind of the strength of your guild, is that you guys have solid tanks and healers, right?
And if you get lucky on who gets the debuff or not, right? So if only a couple DP, if the tank doesn't get it and he's sitting there or whatever, you can get lucky on who doesn't get it and kill him really quick.
Yeah, because that's really the first big threat fight, right? You can't taunt him. You gotta play it right with tanks. So that's kind of the first one. Chromagus is the same, right? But that's the first one where you really have to watch threat closely.
I think from a tanking perspective, Broodlord's bad too. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, never mind. Go ahead. You're saying
something. I just think from a tanking perspective that Broodlord is also a tough fight, because he can lock your tanks very.
Oh yeah. Healer perspective too as well.
Someone said they got an 18.5k Mortal Strike. Someone said in chat.
Yeah,
18.5k Mortal Strike Phage.
Holy crap!
That's huge, man.
Yeah.
So a couple people asking about it. And this is a question for the chat too. BWL is out now. I can't believe it. We're in phase 3. Classic WoW is flying before our very eyes. And again, quick tangent. Appreciate it. Savor it, guys. It's gonna fly, and we're gonna be nostalgic of this era as well, right? I don't want to beat a dead horse, but on that note, how long would you want the BWL phase 3 to last? Knowing what we know about Molten Core and the pacing of getting gear and loot from there and just raiding week to week, we have a little bit of data here to work with. What would feel right to your mind of how long BWL should go phase 3 before we move into phase 4?
Well, phase 4 is just to clarify, it's just CG and Arathi Basin, right?
Correct. Yeah, that's going to change some stuff though. Yeah.
It is, but Yeah, I'm thinking about 3 month spell. That sounds about right. I think about 3 months because I actually really look forward to ZG as well. It just as like a little kind of like respite and NAB. But I think three months sounds about right. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree with that as well. I think that we should have Phase 4. I don't know, beginning of summer, like or end of spring is what I'm thinking, something like that.
Yeah, so like 3 or 4 months. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know. I want AQ in the summer, like honestly.
AQ would be
what I'm talking about. Yeah, so I want Phase 5, like probably like July, August. That's what I'd like to see. August, maybe. But my whole theory is that they're gonna bring out Nax. So here's the problem: is that Shadowlands comes out when? Shadowlands comes out in Q4, right?
I don't know. Have they announced that yet?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be around Q4. So that means they're going to push Nax probably to like early 2021. Okay. And then so I'm thinking. So it's going to go from going back from that. I think it's going to be AQ in late summer. And then Phase 4, like spring summer transition.
So you think like a pretty big gap between AQ and Nax? You're thinking?
Only because of Shadowlands. I don't think it should be that long.
Right.
Well,
it's all the contingent upon that.
Well, what if they release content sooner so Nax is out before Shadowlands?
Oh, yikes!
Then we are.
People want that though.
But that's like
I am 95% sure. Yeah, I'm 95% sure they're going to announce TBC at BlizzCon this year.
See, here's the thing though. I think they are too.
That sounds. If I was a betting man, I'd put money on that, right?
Yeah. But I want to be able to. So the big downfall of Nax back in the day was that it was only out a couple months before TBC came out, right? So I think it'd be cool if there was like a good 4 months or so that we had Nax until TBC. You know how like right now when they have an expansion, the last patch is always like the longest, right? To get ready for like the new expansion. I think that would be cool if we had that into TBC as well. Kind of had a long, to be able to do all the things that you wanted to do in vanilla before TBC came out.
Yeah, I don't think TBC is launching until Q4 2021. Let me be very, very clear about that. I don't think it's launching until Q4. So they can spread this out for sure.
Q4 2021.
I think that's when TBC is going to come out.
Yeah.
I mean, Q3, Q4.
That sounds kind of reasonable. I mean, here's my thing. The reason why I asked, though, is I kind of am with you now a little bit, Melderon. When you were saying this back in the day, I kind of wanted a little bit more space in between the phases so people can kind of like chill and enjoy the game in alternative ways and kind of just like not have to feel the pressure of keeping up with the Joneses so much. But at the same note, the majority of players, maybe they like that, though. Maybe they want to be able to feel that pressure always there, so they have the carrot on a stick. Like maybe just the day-to-day isn't that exciting for them and they want that pressure, so it's tough, right?
Well, maybe we can change that meta, but I think you're right. I think that unfortunately or fortunately the way people play games have changed significantly to the point where people want to just conquer new stuff as soon as they can, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I was getting tired of MC, bro. I was getting tired of it, man. Like I mean, I'll still go in every week to try to get the few pieces that I need out of there and be with my raid and have a good time. But I'm tired of doing those trash packs, dude. Oh, my God. So tired of it, Like, I'm sure I'll feel that same way in 2 months, 3 months, right? For BWL. So, I don't know.
Have you guys done anything to shorten your MC runs at all?
Yeah. We've done some skips and some jumps.
Big skips, yeah.
Skips and jumps, hops.
Yeah,
skips and jumps, hops, and and we kill stuff so quick now, the bosses. But I still like going in there a little bit. I enjoy raiding. Because like I play a priest, right? So where I shine is not fucking.
Yeah, what else you gonna do?
Yeah, so that's where I shine, right? So. Fuck you guys. That's why I'm leveling another class. But like, here's the thing: like, I love healing, and I love healing raid or dungeon.
Tell everyone what you're leveling on the side.
I'm leveling a shaman. He's level 41.
Nice.
I've got Kang waiting for me at 44. I can't wait, and I'm having a great time. I'm not sure what I want to do at level 60 yet. I really want to do, like, I was just watching Orkbit put out a new PvP montage video where he's just blowing people up with lightning bolts and Chef Camp, yeah, that's right. Blowing people up with lightning bolts and chain lightning, but I really love enhancement as well, so we'll see what I do. But I love shamans. I mean, they're a lot of fun. And here's the thing, that I want to I want to kind of explore Shadow a little bit more in my priest because I love Shadow and I haven't been able to play it that much. So I've been, maybe just a little bit here and there, maybe trying to rank up a little bit. I would love to get some rank gear and put it because the Shadow priest gear is so good. The PvP gear is so good for Shadow, but it's I don't want to waste all my gold respecing all the time. So I have my shaman, having a lot of fun with him. But state of the game right now, I think it's in a good place. A lot of people say nay, whatever. I love the game right now, and I think it's a good transition to what things that Cargos has been doing and things that other people have been doing to kind of explore the game in a new way. A lot of people have been doing some other things, and I think Cargos came up with cracking open a cold one there. Came up with a great fucking thing here, which is hardcore mode, and something that when we were talking, Cargos, we're talking about on the last GMA how let's do it our own way, right? Not go by the rules of the fucking Iron Man or whatever. Like let's create our own thing because classic WoW is hard enough while leveling that you don't need to keep yourself with wearing only white, green or white gear or having no talents and doing all that. I think that's a little crazy. That's a little nonsense to me. Why not have more fun and make it more of a scope of things you can do 100%. By adding talents, by adding professions, and making it so much more fun? Because chances are you're still going to fucking die. Okay. Right? 100%. So let's talk about it. Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Guys, another quick posture check. This might be some of the most important thing I've ever said on stream before. And I'm calling in all favors right now. I want people to open their mind for a second and give this a shot. I've been streaming it the past couple weeks, and it's still very much in its infancy. It's still very much early days, but it's something I'm very, 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 very excited about. Want to apply myself full force towards to see how deep the rabbit hole goes. It's a new game mode. People have been experimenting with these type of game modes in the past, so again, they got to give credit where credit is due. There are some forefathers here doing this before. But it's this hardcore game mode, okay? And I'm really glad we have Ayle here, too, because Ayle hasn't been drinking the Kool-Aid recently. He's been doing his own thing. He's been outside of it, so we can maybe balance this out and be like, yo, you guys need to freaking relax, dude. But I want to explain this to you guys, and please, I'm begging you, just try to open your mind and give it a shot. It may sound not initially that great, but I think if you gave it a shot, it might connect with you big time, because it does everything that I hoped it would do. Pretty much, and this is the high level of it. You have one life to live. That's probably the most important aspect of it. So if you die, you delete your character. That right there has massive ramifications, massive implications across every possible facet of the game with regard to talents, itemization, play style, leveling strategies. Gear, it buffs the content immensely. The open world is made great again. Caves are genuinely scary again. Named mobs that have elite tags on them or rare spawn tags are genuinely terrifying again. You're a lower power level and the world is a higher power level. It also creates more attachment to your character. It makes it feel like more of an adventure. It's more RP. I could literally sit here for the next 3 hours, ladies and gentlemen, and chill it. Melderon, could you explain your perspective of hardcore and Diablo? Because this is not like some new term. This is a term that's been around in the Blizzard ecosystem. And for the people that like Diablo, sorry, go for it, man. Yeah.
So I just want to start by saying that we in the Classic WoW community owe Cargos a debt of gratitude. This guy is a fucking genius.
Yeah.
Like, he knows the game such at a deep level and is so passionate about this game that I just want to start there, okay? So yeah, we can talk about Diablo hardcore mode, but I think we just talk about this because that could be a source of inspiration. But let me tell you that this has totally revitalized my experience doing this. The fact that you are zoning into this character and start to get attached to them, knowing that one day, most likely, you're going to have to delete him. Yeah. It totally changes everything. What talents you choose, what race you pick, what class you pick, what quest you do, what quest you don't do, like every step. I'm scared to go up on Thunder Bluff because I might fall off the fucking thing. Okay?
Like, it happened to me.
Yo, it happened to me. I died like that.
Yeah, like, dude, it's unbelievable. Okay, so like, the Iron Man challenge exists, and congrats to those guys for coming up with that idea. It's an old idea, but here's the thing. And I'm going to read this directly from the FAQ on ClassicWow.live, where we have a hub for the hardcore mode. Why are talents and professions allowed? We are completely aware that WoW Classic Iron Man challenges exist. However, we are fundamentally opposed to the philosophy of playing WoW Classic in that fashion. Allowing talents and professions opens up so much player choice and theory crafting, as well as making content more exciting and enjoyable for your friends and stream audiences. We want people to think deeply about their character's progression. As a result, this will open up many talents not normally chosen during normal leveling. That's like the crux of what we're trying to do here. We want to make this as deep as possible, where people can share ideas and say, like, no, this talent, like the survival tree and hunters, there are going to be talents in there that may be actually good, you know? Stuff like that. It's going to open up so much for the game. I'm telling you guys, like, you got to try this just to give it a shot. It's just making me want to play so much more.
So I have an announcement to make because of all of this, and you know, I've been thinking about this a lot. I've been wanting to get back into streaming as well because I haven't streamed in a long time, as some of you guys know. And I got to give Cargos big ups here because he's kind of reinvigorated me into wanting to do this. And we talked about it before when it was just getting started, and I was getting really hyped about it. I watched him do it, was watching Meldron did it the other night, watching Grays. So I decided that tonight, after me and Meldron get home from eating barbecue, I'm going to make a mage, probably a gnome mage over on Bloodcell Buccaneers, and we'll be streaming tonight doing the hardcore for the first time. So I am fucking so excited to get back into this. I can't thank Cargos enough for like just reinvigorating me and like to do this. I am just so hyped. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. So I can't wait. Tonight I'll be streaming it. And hopefully we're gonna get back into the whole thing. So I'm just so excited, dude.
We're lucky to have you guys. Make sure you support Def Camp when he gets back on the stream, and dude, that's the music to my ears. That's huge, man. I appreciate the love and support all around. You may be scratching your head thinking, why do we even need this, man? Here are some of the things. This is just a taste, a little hors d'oeuvre, a little hot dog that's wrapped in the croissant for you guys. All right, here we go. Makes leveling great again. It gives leveling a bucket. So right now the three aspects of the game, right, are PvE, PvP, and leveling. Leveling has been shit on, guys. Like, it has been, with the multi-boxing meta and the whole going to dungeons and have one mage pull. We talked about this at length. I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but right, this is making the leveling content, the open world, the simple stuff that we enjoyed, the accessible stuff. It's making it great again. It's giving this like kind of competitive scene, competitive ecosystem infrastructure that has its own drama and hype and highlights. It's making Hager great again. It's making old Murk-Eye great again. Faux Reaper 4000, more Ladim, Stitches. Yeah. It's making all of these simple enemies awesome again. Because when you step foot out into the open world and you have one life, you would be very surprised that it will make you play very differently, right? So it buffs all the content out in the open world, and it basically nerfs you, given this rule set. So you're weaker, and the world is stronger. It also is a very RP experience. What do I mean by that? That may seem super cringe to you. I don't know. Give it a shot. Open your mind to it, because when you have one life, you kind of get more invested in your character. The people that you see that like help you out, that save you, like it feels like you're really on an adventure. It's a more meaningful adventure. It makes PvE and RP servers more lively. This is a good one that Meldron said. I definitely agree there, because I feel like it just fits in so well on a PvE RP server, like on Bloodcell Buccaneers, pretty much. And yeah, let me finish the rest of the rule sets too. So 1 life, if you die, you must delete your character. 2, professions and talents are allowed. So it's making stuff like inventory great again too, because you can't use the auction house. No auction house, no mail, no bank alts. So you can't no trading. You can't just go to the auction house and buy yourself some runecloth bags, right? You can't funnel bags from your main over to your alt, which you would normally do on a server, right? That's not allowed. And so the fact that it's so tough, that means you have to buy bags from the vendors, and you guys know the vendor prices are insanity. Like to buy like a large brown sack is like 1 gold, right? So you have to either craft them yourself, and it gives you a real incentive to play the game with finesse and grace, like to pilot a character really well. I want to stop for emphasis there, right? If you watch someone play like Navik, level a character, and he's just so mindful of professions like cooking and first aid and just positioning with the mobs, it gives that level of play and finesse a place to shine and to be appreciated, right?
Absolutely.
And it's cool when you level a character really cleanly and you're up to date with your professions and you're up to date with your gathering. you're doing the quests, you're weaving them together elegantly. That doesn't really have a chance to shine in the current ecosystem. Right now, you pretty much just get to level 8, go to RFC, pay for some boosts all the way up to 60. Not to say you have to play that way, but if you have that competitive side of you, like, you're going to feel like you're missing out. You're going to feel that FOMO, right? But with this, it's something else, man. It's a new platform. So no trading with other characters, no grouping out in the open world. So it's also very rewarding. It feels like you are a solo lone adventurer out in the open world. And you can still socialize and group up for a full hardcore dungeon. So if anybody here watching me do Dead Mines yesterday, it was a blast, man. It felt... We had like 1,000 people watching a Dead Mines run, because if you die, it's very dramatic,
Yeah.
Very dramatic if you die. Your character is over. If I got a green bracer or like the buzzsaw dropped for me yesterday, I was over the moon.
Huge.
Because I can't use the auction house, right?
Right.
So my gear is terrible, So every little green, you pick up every dungeon mob that dies, you're like desperately like frothing from the mouth trying to loot it, just get a little bit of wool because you're so weak, like you just don't really have anything going for you. So the full hardcore dungeon groups, I felt a real sense of camaraderie going through Dead Mines with these characters yesterday. I felt very, connected with them. We were doing it on stream. Everyone was looking out for each other, genuinely. They're like, you only imagine Death Camp as a healer, how stressed that must be. If they have one life and you have to keep them alive, like, you literally cannot fuck around and make some band-aids.
And not to pull too much if you're a tank. You don't want to pull too much. You don't want to do this. And, like, I just want to say something about, like, the professions, right? I think this just opens up so much professions, because, like, you could go the route of, say, engineering, right, and get things that are going to help you maybe do more damage, or like using a target dummy, things like that. Or you could say, okay, let me go the route of alchemy and getting potions to help me, and getting that health pot that might save you from death, that stone shield potion or something like that that's going to help you, and like it makes your professions so much more important. It makes
everything much more important. And okay, so if you're going as hard as possible, trying to level as fast as possible, and you're not concerned about deaths, you can do all these immersion breaking things like death hop all across the world, right? Which feels a little bit scummy. I mean, it's still, kind of, you feel like a power gamer when you do it, but when you have one life, you can't do any of that, right? So like, to get to through the wetlands into Kalimdor is actually like hard and an adventure. Like, you have to be like a high level. You don't want to get killed by the crocodiles, right? Like, if you just have to explore and get a flight path, like, you have to really worry about aggroing some mobs. And because you have one life, there's some parallels to real life too in this too. So like, you kind of want to actually just enjoy each moment, because it could all be over at any point. And here's the other thing, it gives you an incentive to play slow and steady, and like, though, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's not optimal to just pump as hard as possible and get as much XP per hour, because if you die and you push the content too hard, you die and it's all over. What's the point, right?
Yeah.
So full hardcore dungeon groups are authorized, and here's a really cool thing we discovered yesterday. All these rules need to be fleshed out by the community, that you can do dungeon groups, and the meeting stone, that's basically a meme in the game, doesn't do much, that dictates what levels are authorized for those dungeons. And you can only do the dungeon one time, so it's more like RP right there, because you can only kill Van Cleef one time in your character's story, right? So you can only kill him one time. Warlocks can't res via Soulstone because they've technically died. Shamans can't res via Ankh. Paladins can't Bubble Hearth because like nothing can interact with that. And then basically the ultimate goal is to get to level 60. It's the ultimate leveling challenge for your class. If you want to be a big brain of your class and be respected, it's up there with speed clearing knacks and all this. If you were able to pilot your class to 60 with no deaths, that is a serious like badge of honor right there. If you're able to do that, like that's huge, man. And you get the insane bragging rights here. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to real quick talk about why we're doing. So I think some people in the chat are asking PvP server stuff. You can definitely do this on a PvP server, guys. We're not saying you can't. But the reason why I would highly recommend not doing that is because, can any of you that ever played on a PvP server name a time that you weren't ganked by a 60 once on your level?
Not only that, but in order to do it,
I didn't get to the stream sniping part yet.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get to that part yet.
Yeah.
Let's say you're not streaming at all. Let's say that you're just recording it locally and uploading it to YouTube unlisted or something, or somewhere. Let's say you're doing that. Can any of you say that you were never ganked? Ever? Can you imagine getting to like level 55 or 59 and some dude just comes, like 360s just come and gank you?
Yeah.
That's why we don't do it. That's why I'll never do it on the PvP.
That's why I'll never do it as well. And here's the most important thing, guys. Here is the Big Mac sauce, the special sauce. This is what makes it all come together. This is what makes it a possibility. This is what makes this even a viable thing to pursue. And it's because we live in 2020 right now that we can all record this or stream it very easily. And that's important because that's how we enforce the rules. That's how we share that's how we socialize. You get it almost is like this self-fulfilling prophecy because everybody's streaming it and you get all these different perspectives that it almost polices itself because everybody's recording it, right? And you don't necessarily have to stream or record it, but if you want it to be a publicly verifiable, run up to 40 or 60 or whatever, you should record it, right? And this is going to get way more people streaming. It's going to feel like way more of a community going down. And then pretty much once you get 60, you can post all your VODs and people, the community, hopefully a lot of you guys will volunteer your time and we can review it, watch it in like 10x speed and make sure everything was followed. And then you pretty much earn your freedom, you become a real character and you get the ultimate bragging rights if you can get to 60. Your name is Def Camp HC, Def Camp HC, and then people are like, yo, did you get to 60 without dying, Def Camp? You're like, yup, no deaths. I have the whole VOD to prove it, And
that's just so awesome, dude. Like, could you imagine? Like, oh my god, dude. So I'm going mage, and I'm thinking about it now. Like, what talents to take, and like, I'm obviously going to go frostbite spec, and like, and like, here's the thing. Like, of course, I'm not going to go AOE spec because like, that's ridiculous. I'm going to go after one mob at a time, and some people say, oh, mages, but how many times do you play mage and you get cornered or something like that? You're in a like, yeah, mages are great out in the open world, but if you're in a cave or something like that. It's I think mages have some great things to do because every class has their strengths. So rogues, you have stealth, you have vanish. Shamans are amazing at low level. They have the heals. They have Earthbind Totem, things like that. Mages have maybe low health, but they have a lot of get out of jail quick cards and stuff like that. And that even makes me, I hate gnomes, right? Mm-hmm. But I want to play gnome because of that extra intellect, escape artist, things like that. Artists. So I'm going to go gnome because it's going to be the best way, I think, for me to go forward.
Basically, it's a new game.
Even though I hate gnomes,
it's a new game. It's a new game when you have one you have one health, and the streaming. And I'm telling you that's what puts it all together, though, right? And here's the thing that's really cool about it too. It makes really good stream content, IMO at least. And if you've been watching it, you can see people really empathize when you die on your one character and you just basically sunk all that time. People get really attached and sad, Rip Iron Lad, like that was my highest guy so far, level 28. Aww. And he also, when you die with a hardcore character, it creates like a really strong memory about that location, right? I'm always gonna remember that spot that I died in Thunderbluff. I'm always gonna remember how Slavon Mismantle clapped my 28 warrior. I'm always gonna remember how Grace for Days died to that Knoll today. That was pretty funny, like it makes
Grace for Days died like twice today.
It makes vendors great again, okay? If you can't use the auction house, vendors are like your best friend. You have to go find that guy, Antonio Pirelli. You have to find him, and you have to go buy potions. Forest, in the Elwyn Forest, or you have to go to the vendors. And if you're not alchemist, bro, and you want to get like blacksmithing or something, it makes blacksmithing legit because there's no auction house, right? So if you want to go get a weapon upgrade or potions, especially if you're not an alchemist, you have to find these vendors and buy their potions, which only has a limited amount, right? So it makes the vendors great again on the bag side of things, on the food. It just makes everything amazing, honestly. And caves, caves are genuinely scary. I died like twice.
Oh my god,
already.
They're so scary, dude.
They're
so
fucking
scary.
Yeah. You know what it makes me think of?
What's that?
Do you think this is kind of what Blizzard had originally intended, more so for the game? Not like hardcore, but like how everything kind of matters more. Like they expect people were going to run dungeons over and over and over and over again until you had like the perfect gear and things like that.
No,
because for a lot of people, like mentioning blacksmithing really made it click for me because a lot of people don't really pick up blacksmithing because you can just run the dungeon and get something better, right?
Right.
But if you only do a dungeon once or twice, odds are you probably aren't going to get what you want, right? So it does kind of make the professions a lot stronger. It does make the vendors a lot stronger, right? No auction house. It's really self-reliant, right?
It really is. Yeah. It really is. Try going through a dungeon, a hardcore dungeon group with everybody with one life. I swear to God, guys, you're gonna feel so like attached to those people. Like when they heal you and you're low or something, like
thank you so much.
Thank you, man. I almost died. Oh my God.
Or he bandages you.
You can also create some drama. Like this stuff creates amazing positive clips where you make a big play and you kill a couple guys out in the open world and you clip it, or if you die and it's like an absolute heartbreak and everybody spams Fs in the chat. Also, these hardcore guilds are so natural. You would think it already existed, to be honest, because when people die, everybody spams F to pay respects. People join. There's always this churn, this flow of characters leaving and joining. And you know, people get super excited. They spam in chat like, "Oh my god, a 6-slot bag drop! Like, I'm so hyped." In the current meta, once you're set up on a server with a 60, like that is just out the window. Like all that is done. Like that content just no longer exists for you. You would just funnel gear and gold over there, right? But this is a new platform to still enjoy that stuff and add a competitive spirit to it. You know,
Right.
Yeah. Add a competitive.
So someone's asking in chat if you can do it. So there are some quests in the game that require you to run a dungeon twice. Unfortunately, you can't do that, and here's the reason why. Well, first is because of an RP perspective. We want to make it more like Dungeons and Dragons, where if your character dies, he's dead, right? Two is that if we allow people to run in dungeons multiple times, I think people are going to start like creating like more of these like melee cleave and spell cleave kind of groups where they do nothing but run through dungeons, and that isn't the way we really want this played. Mm-hmm. Would you agree, Cargos?
I would agree, man. And again, guys, don't think anything is set in stone. This is a grassroots community motherfucking movement right now.
Oh yeah.
No one's sponsoring this shit. This is just us right now. All 600 of us right now. We have to make a white paper. We have to make rules. We have to build infrastructure. This is just a total new frontier that we can all kind of like have fun with. And I really believe in it, guys. It captures everything you love about vanilla. Honestly, it really does, but it still preserves that competitive kind of, that competitive, because you need to preserve that, right? I'm not just gonna sit there and loot ambercorns.
Oh, I want the bragging rights to be the one who hits level 60, baby. Come on.
That's what I'm saying. So it's still got the competitive, spicy element. There's some drama here. There's people streaming. How cool is it? You go to YouTube, you see 100 people streaming different perspectives. It's almost like you're watching the Hunger Games, right?
Yeah.
Grassroots community movement that utilizes the world as a sandbox. The possibilities are endless. It fosters creativity and lines of play. More people streaming and sharing highlights and deaths. It incentivizes a change of mindset away from like the super efficient min-max mindset. Not to say that it's purely bad, but like again, it's a little bit more slow and steady wins the race type thing. If you see how people die in hardcore, how do they die, guys? I'm gonna ask it to you. That's because they get a little bit too ahead of themselves. They get a little bit complacent. They try and risk it for the biscuit too much. If you are very methodical and make really smart decisions, you will survive with your one life. And it is really very rewarding. It gives
I'm just saying, I don't know if you want to pull up ClassicWow.live, but we have like a little thing real quick on the forums where people can go to and post where they're streaming or post where they're going to be uploading their videos, as well as an FAQ and the official rules. And I just updated it, Cargos, because you made the PowerPoint slide. So I just updated the rules. And it's on there. I mean, of course, we have a Discord as well, but I feel like people can also link ClassicWow.live as well.
Absolutely.
And I just want to say, so like in my mind, I'm thinking about the Iron Man thing. Like, I think Iron Man works with retail, right? Because retail is like a much more easier progress when leveling stuff like this. There's not as many talents and all that, so you can like go. I think you can probably no problem level in retail with hardcore. I mean, with Iron Man, but hardcore. Like, it feels so much more in line with Classic, right? Because gray items are not going to get you very far in Classic. No talents are not going to get you very far in Classic. I almost feel like you need this, and it just opens so many doors. You know what I mean? Like,
what do you think about this? I mean, are you going to try it?
Yeah, I'm going to try it for sure. I think it sounds amazing. I think I'm going to wait until the event that you guys are having.
We didn't talk about that yet. Sorry, that's a good idea. Sorry, go ahead.
A potential event that we might be having. For me, I'm awful at leveling. I am so bad. I die all the time. I'm so careless. It's going to be a huge challenge. I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. I don't even know what to play at this moment. But what I want to do with this challenge, I want to go into a battleground and survive.
Oh my god, that's insane.
That's what I think That's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna try to do a battleground.
Just be a rogue and stealth through it the whole time.
Well, I want to kill people too, right? But I want to try doing a battleground on hardcore and living through it.
Dude, that's nuts. That's a great idea.
If everybody if everybody is doing the hardcore though, everybody's going to be equally scared. So it actually could be good. I'm not denying. Like everyone is going to be there. No one's going zug. I'm telling you right now. If you have
imagine two pre-mades, a Warsong Gulch, all hardcore players.
I mean, what is
that? Middle of war.
That would be a legit actual world that we have like in real life. People are just going to be like poking at each other.
No one even tries to capture a flag. It's just like the last player standing wins.
That's what I'm saying.
How cool would that be, dude?
The possibilities are endless here, man. I hope one day they think about making a hardcore server or something like that. But you know, it really does for the first time incentivize like slow and steady is optimal, not viable. It's like optimal because if you push it too much, you die, and then what's the point, right? It's, you know, yeah, we can get into the event that we're starting to because this is another.
I just thought of something else, dude. I'm sorry. Before you say that, like, okay, you know, on Bloodsail we have the hardcore guild and Iron Man guild. So there's two guilds on this server. One horde, one alliance.
I know where you're going. I know
where you're going. All go in the Gorobashi arena, right? And the last man standing wins. How fucking awesome would that be?
It would be awesome, but the thing is, you lose your character, though. Oh,
I know, but like, I'm just thinking of like different things we could do.
Yeah, I mean, no, the possibilities are absolutely endless here, and here is an extra special dosage of dope ass, you know, knowledge right here, guys. Look at this. Hardcore Community Cup #1. So it's already cool. We've established it's already dope to have one life, right, and to play the game through that way and capture it. And it honestly is so legit. Everybody's streaming, they're sharing, they're more invested. It feels more like an adventure. And honestly, this is the other thing I was going to say before the event. Ayle said it like it was perfect. It was some genius shit. He was saying that this is what the world was designed for. I believe that this is kind of what Blizzard was thinking with the world. They were trying to tune stuff in the world for this type of mindset where people really don't want to die and they're playing, you know, as smart as possible. I don't think Blizzard was designing the world to withstand 5 multi-boxed mages, you know, blast waving or arcane explosion everything down and funneling runecloth bags and crusader enchant on a level, you know, on low level shit. Like, I don't think they were balancing the world for that, right? And if you play it through this mode, hardcore, the world feels really good. The balance of the world feels really good. Like, the difficulty level feels really good, man. It sneaks up on you, like, when you die. So, I think, yeah, it's kind of redeveloping your relationship with the open world. You know, right now we kind of have, like, an abusive relationship with the open world. Once the server's already established, you just go out there and you just slap the world around. Right now, I mean, this is also allowing us to create our own artificial fresh. Where's my private server boys at? You guys like fresh, right?
Oh, dude, absolutely.
Everybody likes fresh, right? But if there wasn't a thing like this, there would be no reason to try and do a fresh by yourself. Who's going to enjoy it? It's just you, like, for some reason, playing the game more painfully than you need to. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if this is an event, then everybody kind of gets into the fresh mindset again. And you can create your own freshes within the server, and it's so sick. So the other aspect about this Hardcore Community Cup #1 is that not only are you playing with one life, pay attention to this, guys. Not only are you playing with one life, there is now a time gate. Now it is time gated, the playtime. So if there was no time gating and you only had one life, what would the smartest play be? Probably killing, you know, neutral, non-social beasts over and over and over again. Very, very safe play, methodical play, right? But if there is some sort of competitive tournament where there's only a certain amount of time you can play, all the incentives so that you just play the game with finesse, and you level it with finesse, and you do the hard quests, and you go for the hard quests that give good XP, you go for the quest rewards, you find that balance, and I think it's going to make good stream content. I think it's going to be fun to watch, and it's going to be, you know, it's just going to be great, guys. So the February 29th is the first one, the Hardcore Community Cup. Everybody is invited.
I can't wait. Dude.
It's going to be all day. Like 12-hour playtime. I'm going to be casting it fully with some other people who want to cast it, and we're just going to be bouncing around to all the different dozens of streams and getting people's perspectives. And when people die, it's going to be kind of, you know, sad when they die. They basically get eliminated from the tournament when they die, right? But everybody's going to be streaming it, recording it, and then, you know, there's some small prizes, nothing to write home about, but, you know, eventually, if it becomes more of a thing, we can get some bigger prizes. So yeah, just for this one, this is like season 1 kind of, you can think of. We're still in the beta of this play mode. This is very, very early days, right? So if it's bad or something happens, we can just adjust it for the further ones, right? We can adjust it, and like all the leveling guides, profession guides, talents, everything could be turned on its head when you have one life, guys. Like maybe going prot warrior's kind of good. Maybe the shaman build. Like you probably have a different shaman build right now, right, Melvin? I don't know.
Slightly different. Yeah, sure, than what I usually go. But like real quick, I just want to make sure that there's a lot of questions going on right now. So this is not set to like one server. You can do it on any server you want, any region, any class, whatever you guys want to do. You just have to make a new character. You have to start at level 1. You can't start doing Iron Man in your level 59 shaman. You can't do that, right? Or hardcore mode, excuse me. Like, and another thing I want to say is that this community cup, it doesn't mean we only do hardcore during that cup. That's just a 12-hour. This is a sweepstakes kind of thing. You can do hardcore mode whenever you want, whenever server or class or anything like that. So this is not limited to certain like areas or certain classes or certain times of the year. This is just a event we're doing for the hardcore challenge itself. So to make that completely clear, there's a lot of questions in chat. So
a lot of questions, and we don't have answers to all those questions, guys, because we're gonna have to flesh it out together. And this is the other slide that we need. We need everything. Right now, I'm happy to say that we have one of the best designers, honestly, the best designer in all of the community right now. He made the logos and everything for pretty much everybody, like all the top Twitch people. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure he made SFans and Stay Safes and all that. He made mine. He made Def Camp and Melderons. All the logos, the branding, he made that. He loves Warcraft. He's a big Warcraft guy. His name is Brandung Media, and we got him on the case. He's working on this, so he's going to try to make us some really cool logos and stuff like that to make the event a success, right? So it looks legit, because people have to trust that it's legit, right? We need like good assets for it, and we need other stuff too, like an official white paper that is dynamic, so people can contribute feedback, and then we just democracy it, and then we can make adjustments to the season. So you do like a season 1, season 2, because that's what they do in hardcore, right? Don't they have seasons? I don't know. That's what I thought.
Yeah, they do, but that's
Yeah, I mean, so seasons, get a hype trailer. We're gonna need community managers. We're gonna need mods. We're gonna need people that can help volunteer their time to review VODs. If people actually, do make it to 60. And here's the sick thing, guys. I made a Discord, right? Classic Hardcore Discord. Imagine you get to 60 or even 40. You submit your VOD, because getting to 40 is already an achievement. That was like what I was thinking. If you get to 40 hardcore and you follow all the rules, that's legit, and you should get a special rank in the Discord. Verified 40, verified 50, verified 60. That's awesome. So if you get verified 60, this is what we do, guys. Listen to this. This is big brain. Verified 60, right? He's going to have a whole bunch of VODs. What we do is we open it up to the community, and we go, guys, please review these VODs. I'll do my best to review them too, and we throw it out there. And we got, here's the rules, review the VODs, community. Go Hive Mind, go review it. And if that passes the review of the community, they become legendary.
Exactly. Yes.
That's fucking awesome.
Hardcore. They become a legend.
Because we have so many people involved. You're gonna have a shit ton of VODs, right? But if you sign one person to each VOD or 2 people to each VOD to cover each basis, they can validate that and say like, okay, this guy got to 60, he did it. You know what I mean? There was no wishy-washy stuff. And a lot of you guys are thinking, what if I DC because of like some internet issue? That's a different story. As long as we can confirm like that actually happened.
That's what happened, right? Yeah.
Then it's fine. You can resurrect and keep going, because that's an act of God, right? It's out of your control. So, don't think that's going to stop anyone. But don't think that also that we can't detect if something weird goes on with that too. If we see all of a sudden it goes like your guy's at 10% health and then he's in Westfall, but he was in Darkshore, like obviously something just weird happened, right?
Yeah, so ways of making you talk, Mr. Jones.
It gives you a reason to just make new characters too. Like, here's one thing too. It may seem like sad when your character dies, because you're gonna die, guys. I'm just letting you know right now. You're gonna die. Like, you may think you're gonna make it, but you're gonna die. You think it's really bad that you died, and it's really sad. But think about it. If then it gives you a reason to do the early content again. Like, there's a reason to do these early content again, even on a developed server. So it just gives you like an infinite value loop of content and fun shit that you can do. You can try and do it a little bit differently, level it a little bit cleaner. And I've watched a good amount of people try and level like this, guys, for the past week or two. It's hard. I'm just gonna say it.
Sorry, I gotta put this in chat. Look what Ayle just made up on there, dude. I'm totally with this.
Wait, what?
So the link on ClassicWow.live, I'm totally. Ayle, explain that. That's amazing, dude.
Oh, sorry, I broke the. Cargos was on a streak there.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
No, I just thought of something. Hunters are, everybody complains, or not complains, but says, they are the strongest leveling class. What if when the hunter pet dies, you'd have to train a new pet? So you can't use it as cannon fodder, in a sense.
A lot of people have said that in the chat. That's good feedback. If you guys want to do that, we can do that. We got to let's democracy this. Let's make a white paper. Let's see what you guys want to try out, right? Because maybe that could nerf hunters.
Get the discussion. Get the discussion going.
What about Warlock pets, though? He said,
Isn't this perfect though? This is using the world as a sandbox, limitless possibilities, a community movement. Isn't this the dream right now? I mean, it's I don't know, man. Guys, this could be huge. Like, we could be in a world where 10% of the classic WoW players are playing hardcore. And, So there's.
What do you think if you're a warlock and you have a warlock pet? You can only, if it dies, you can have to summon a different pet, and then you only have like those 4 pets or whatever. I don't know. Maybe that, I don't know, but I think warlock pets are a little bit different. They're not as strong as hunter pets, right? So,
yeah, one thing you'd have to also keep in mind, guys, is like every single little minutia rule that we add makes it that much harder to enforce on the VOD, right?
That's a good point.
If you watch it, the VOD, it has to be easy to see if something went wrong, right? If that's one of the reasons why you would only say 1 dungeon per character, because if you allowed, 1 dungeon per hour or 1 dungeon per whatever, it'd be very hard to look at that VOD and say like, yo, this guy, was only in there once per hour. It has to be kind of super stupid simple until Blizzard makes it themselves, to review. But yeah, you guys are all invited. The event's on the 29th. It's on Bloodsail Buccaneers. Let me pull it up right now. It's going to be casted. I think No Hit Jerome is going to be down to play. Hopefully we can get some more people who are,
Dude, I'm down. I am so down.
You're down? I'm so glad that you guys are down.
Of course, yeah.
We need everything. Like, we need mods, graphics, anything you guys can think of, pretty much.
And this is what I love about this, too. It's like, it's so classic it's so vanilla in, like, its origin. It's just like a grassroots, like, you know what I mean? It's something that just screams vanilla WoW to me. You know what I mean? And I love that. It's nothing. It's the RP of it, right? The feel of your character and like becoming one with it. I think it's so classic WoW. It just screams that out to me, and it's just something that's like all in all just great fun, and it makes playing this game for a lot of people who have that monotonous grind of playing on their main or doing this whatever. It gives you that escape and that chance to actually play vanilla in the way that I think that like a lot of people of us have viewed it, thought of it in the past.
Here's another thing. How many of you guys have thought about, I want to play this class, and then you think to yourself, man, I have to get them all the way to fucking 60, and then I have to get pre-raid this, and then I have to get tuned. Not anymore. You can pick any class you were afraid to level, or you were like didn't want to fully commit into. There you go.
There you go.
Like that, right?
Leveling with the music and ambience in the early zones is straight up like therapy to me, man. Every time I'm feeling down, I would do that, and I would just feel. It makes me feel better. It's like therapy. It makes you like introspective and stuff. That's a side note, but like it is really good content to experience over and over again. It's very like soothing, And there, you can name your tune. Cargo's HC, Def Camp HC, Ayle HC. So if someone sees HC at the end, they're gonna be like, yo, this guy has 1 life. I have to try and help him out if he's in trouble, Or if like he gets to 60 and you see the HC tag, you're like, oh my god, this guy got it to 60. Like does he have a confirmed VOD? Is he verified on the Discord? You see he's verified? That's legend. And you guys may think it's easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. How many of you think that you can make it to 60? I honestly think. I mean, I love you, Chad, but like very few of you are going to be able to make it to 60 with no deaths. It's really
It's like that. It's like that. Oh yeah, I'm going to be high warlord and like
yeah.
No, you're probably not. You know what I mean?
And the thing is, if you're sitting around playing if you're sitting around killing mobs that are 8, well, what's the limit? 7 levels already needed for XP.
All right. Yeah.
Then okay, maybe, but like that's not the way you should be playing this. Honestly, like that's not. You should be like doing it like you would normally, right? You wouldn't fight mobs that low level. Like, you would not do that. XP per hour is trash. So, I would try to do the quests when they're relevant,
I mean, not only that, but, like, it's like, you're going to get to the point where even if you're fighting shit, like, lower level, like, there's still always that chance that you're going to die, I mean, yeah, maybe you pull too much or do this, that, and the other, like, and the way it is in leveling in WoW, like, you're going to have to go to a different zone, you're going to have to go to somewhere else, and there's always that chance, no matter what's going to happen, that you pull too much or you do this or do that, like, yeah, I'm going to try to play it safe, but you can only be so safe.
Only be so exactly. And And yo, here's another thing too. So you guys know about Stitches, right? Of course, like everybody knows about Stitches.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, there's other mobs like Stitches around. Like I was in Red Ridge the other day, right? And in the lake, there's a strong ass elite in the water. If you aggro that guy, you're dead.
Yeah.
If you aggro that guy, you're dead. All these types of mobs too are like serious concerns. Like you're legitimately scared. It will put, even if you've done this content 100 times over, like I've done over the years, it will put butterflies back in your stomach, and you're gonna like forget about that mob. And if he aggroes to you in the water, you're fucking dunzos. It's over. Like
and
you can't run away
zones
from
like Lochmadon, right? Those fucking knolls up in the hills, caves and shit. They're packed so tight. Like you try to pull one, sometimes there's 3 of them coming at you. You know what I mean? Like. Even if it thinks, oh, this will be easy, I'm out in the world. There's places like that, or like out in wetlands. Those Dark Iron elite dudes, they're fucking tough, man. Like they really are tough.
I actually agree with Chad. I think we should probably put HC in front of the name Cargos.
Oh, in front of them?
That way it's capital?
Yeah.
Well, the only thing...
That way it's...
This is the only thing about that. People are going to read your name potentially as... I mean, you could do it either way. What if we just say either way, for now? I mean...
Either way. Either way. Yeah, I think either way.
If it's at the end, they'll still pronounce it Cargos. Where if, there's a chance that if you have, kind of a name with an S in it or something, they'd be like, yo, H-Champ or H-Def Camp.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. That's a good point.
But, again, this is a blank canvas for us, guys. We can do everything we want. And
I'm so excited, dude.
One more thing real quick is that you guys should really start thinking about... So, we kind of danced around this, but Grace for Days I did this today. Mob alignment is something you don't ever really care about. But did you guys know that mobs are aligned with other mobs differently? So, if you like are fighting like a red mob, you of course know that a yellow mob won't follow, right? Mm-hmm. But if it's a Kodo, for some reason Kodos have like this global alignment thing with beasts. Yeah. So if you are near a Kodo, they'll start charging you, no matter what.
If you're killing like a Volt, right? Or a Plane Strider or something like that, they will attack you as if they were a red mob.
Yeah, usually the rules are humanoids aren't on the same alignment with beasts. So if you have two red mobs, one's a humanoid, one's a beast, 9 times out of 10 the humanoid will go by himself, right? But there are circumstances where you think mobs are not aligned and they are aligned. So it's something to keep that in mind for sure.
Someone's asking about an RP event. I think it is RP. I think this is RP. I don't know. I mean, it's something that we're artificially creating that doesn't actually have functionality. It's kind of RP and...
I think it comes from Dungeons & Dragons, so I would say for sure.
I never played D&D before, Melvron. Do you see any parallel with D&D in this?
Oh, it's completely parallel to it because if you die in D&D, I mean, you can be rezzed, right? But if you actually die, if you get to the point where you're negative, I forget how many hit points it is, your character's dead. You have to re-roll. You have to.
Yeah.
So it's literally it's very similar to Dungeons & Dragons in that way. So I think that really makes it a good RP argument that it comes from RP that really makes this real special. So -10, thank you, Lucas. Yeah. So that's basically how it works in D&D. You can die and be rezzed, but if you get to -10 hit points, you could be you could have been on the campaign for years. That character's gone.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
So
this is the kind of RP that I'm not really an RPer in the past, guys. This is new to me. I could get into this RP, right? If I had to just straight up imagine it completely, just in my mind, then it would be harder for me to get into it. I could still probably do it, but because there's a game that I'm playing, it's almost like fusing some functionality in the game world with D&D. So if you're actually playing the character, D&D, you're imagining the character and all the abilities, right? You still get to play the character in the game, and if he dies, it's over, right? So I think it's gonna RP. I think it fits really well in an RP PvE servers. It could make them hype, and someone said earlier in the chat, I thought I could do it, but he's on his 4th hardcore tune right now. If you see anybody streaming it, I've never seen someone make it, streaming it past 30 or something, bro. You're gonna die.
I can't wait. I can't wait to try, dude. I got good feels about it. See.
Mm-hmm. Even Ayle, watching leveling the Tauren and the Barons, bro. I saw you die a couple times there. The big Ayle,
I die all the time. I am really bad at leveling. I'm gonna have to play totally differently. I'm the auto run champ. I will point myself in a direction and auto run, and I can't do that. I'll get up, make some food, come back. I'm at the bottom of Desolus, or maybe I'm dead or whatever. I would spirit res hop all over the place. Can't do that.
Can't do it.
It's gonna be it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
It brings up a serious point. You're gonna have to seriously, if you have 2 monitors or 1, it doesn't really matter. If you tab out, you got to be super, super careful about that. Or if you go to the bathroom and you think you're safe, but
I'm just gonna log out and not exit game.
Out.
You gotta log out, because if you exit game, your character actually is still there for a couple 10 seconds or something like that. You can still die.
You can still die. Apparently you can even fall in the Ironforge lava. Apparently somehow, it buffs the Ironforge lava, or making the Ironforge lava great again. everything becomes relevant, because if you die even one time, what if you get glitched out on the tram and you die? What if you drown? What if you fatigue out?
Oh my god! You know how many times that I think I'm because I'm so used to playing on Forsaken that I'll go underwater and I'll be like, holy shit! I just died because I thought I was Forsaken. I thought I had 3 minutes underwater, and you only have 50 seconds or something like that as a regular character. Happened to me all the time when I played my dwarf and shit, dude. I would go underwater thinking I'm a Forsaken, and you end up dying, because I'm an idiot like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I'm telling you guys, don't knock it till you try it. People are gonna know. You're gonna feel like you're part of something when you have it on your name tag. So if anyone inspects you and you look like you have shitty gear, it doesn't really matter because they know you're a hardcore character. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, you're not gonna feel embarrassed about your character because if it says HC at the end, they're gonna be like, "Oh shit, this guy has one life. This guy's actually a gamer right now." And honestly, even the biggest brain players, like I bet you people in Onslaught, you know, they're some of the best gamers. I even think a lot of those people wouldn't make it to 60. You're gonna die. Something's gonna happen. You're gonna get complacent.
You have to just totally rethink the way that you would play the game. I mean, like, you know, so many things that you do, like Ayle, just like you said, like all the time, like I'll, you know, auto run somewhere or you know, go AFK somewhere. You don't want to do that, dude. Like, and you know, when you're doing some place that's, you know, a little bit tougher and you have to worry about respawns, you have to worry about like going in a cave, right? And you come out and like, oh, I'm just gonna try to run out and you know, aggro everything, and then just try my best to just like make it out. Like, no, you're gonna want to kill every mob and work your way out through the dungeon in a safe way, or through the cave safer, not just trying to run out, you know, dropping an Earthbind totem or something like that, and just hoping you don't get dazed.
Yeah. So another thing, real quick, is that like I know it's really good to play with people on a server, right? Like it's good to have a community of hardcore players, but this actually will make it so server size doesn't really matter unless you plan on doing dungeon runs. So this actually makes servers that are dead, quote unquote, could potentially make them more lively.
It's true. Good point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
So you can do it on any server. It also just unites everyone into one Discord. You're sharing clips, like it's just making like some infrastructure with the leveling scene, man. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was gonna say something. Oh yeah. Hold up. I was gonna say something interesting. I remembered it. Let me remember it again. Fuck, man. Just someone say something. I gotta remember this. This is really important.
Dude, so I don't know. So like, what classes do you think are like the worst for this? Because a lot of people say, you know, hunter's the best and warrior's the worst. But like warrior, if you have a good, like I would, if I played warrior, I would go stack spirit, right? I would like stack spirit, high stam.
It's only out of combat, dude.
I know out of combat, but like I would, you know, I don't know, like I would, you know, high stam. I would try, like for you, instance, for your shaman, you went shield spec, right? So are you gonna wear a shield at all times, or are you gonna go to two-hand?
Right. Like do the save spec or not?
Yeah.
Well,
what do you?
I mean,
warrior's gonna be tough.
Yeah,
but it's
melee
the ultimate
classes
challenge.
especially.
It's the ultimate challenge. It's the biggest balls. If you hardcore to 60 as a warrior, it's the biggest balls.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Honestly, that's an achievement. Does anybody think that's not an achievement? If you could get the 60 hardcore by yourself, that's insane. You know,
as a warrior,
that's the hardest thing.
And that's one thing during the event, guys. We're not just gonna find the fastest people who get the highest level. We're gonna look at each class and see who got the farthest on each class. It's like comparing a warrior parse to a hunter parse. It's like apples and oranges, right? They have different roles. No need, right? So, you know, just be a champion of your class. Get it. It's the ultimate leveling challenge to get this.
You want to be the warrior god? Be the warrior god.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
I kind of was talking about this during stream yesterday. I think tier 1 is hunter. I think tier 2 is warlock.
Warlock, mage.
I think tier 3 is all the hybrids and mage.
Okay.
So paladin, shaman, druid, mage. I think it's tier 3. In my opinion.
I think mage is a little bit easier than druid, don't you?
Well, dude, dude.
Well, you do have heals as a druid too, and bear form, and cheetah goes.
Cheetah out. You can like.
Dude, you know how good
everything.
Entangling Roots is out in the world? It is so strong because you can just keep spamming that shit, dude.
Yeah,
There's
but
no
what happens if you get a Defies Pillager on you? Roots ain't gonna do shit. You gotta
what do you think? Priest as well in tier 3, or do you think Priest is like tier 2?
The meta is unknown, bro. Honestly,
Priest, I would say, Priest is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I know.
Priest is actually
I would say
good.
Priest probably tier 2, honestly.
Yeah.
With Warlock.
We have a bomb leveler in Onslaught who's a priest, and he thinks they're really close to hunters as far as
priests are amazing. Like, people really underestimate priests and leveling. I love leveling a priest. We all know I love wands. You know, I fucking like wands. To me are like the best thing. But you have Psychic Scream, right? It's huge get out of jail free card. Sometimes if you have too many mobs, Psychic Scream, shield yourself, pop a renew, you're good to go. There's just so many great things about a priest.
Defcamp, you've cleared up a lot of content on private servers. You're a very seasoned priest. How would, if you got the hardcore 60 priest to 60, a hardcore priest to 60, How would that slot in relative to your other achievements in Classic WoW? How proud of that would you be?
Oh my god, I would, I'm proud of my fucking my rap shit, right? I think that would probably trump everything, honestly. Like just the fact that I got to level 60 on a priest without dying once.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
It would be my
Absolutely.
absolute thing I'm most proud of, especially if it was captured from start to finish and you can go back and look at the play.
Yeah.
And people can talk shit about, how efficient your paths are or whatever, but ultimately you got from point A to point B without dying. And that's pretty insane, right?
I honestly believe that this could have the most significant impact on the future gameplay of Classic WoW, because because like, okay, we can say like PvP tournaments, we can say speed leveling, but those are so minimalistic at who can actually do those things, right?
Yeah.
So I think that hardcore mode is something that everyone can at least try and get better at in a way that doesn't require knowing like huge amounts of stuff about PvP, consumables, using engineering, all these little tricks and stuff like that. So I think this is honestly one of the biggest things to increase the overall playability of Classic WoW. Is this? I think.
I agree. I 100% agree. And this is the thing that I want to be. Sorry, Al, so what were you saying?
Yeah, and you get to do it your way too, right? Like there isn't really meta stuff for this. It's new and fresh, and like you said, it makes it so you can be creative and really have the choice to do it however you want. And I think putting the power in the player is something that how often do you hear that? I have to go orc for axes, or I have to do this for that, or you don't have to do any of that stuff. You
don't.
You do it the way you want to do it, right?
I was thinking, as a warrior, Ayle, so you're a warrior, right? And yeah, we understand that sweeping strikes and mortal strike is the most efficient. If you're time gated, it's still probably gonna be the most efficient. But if you had to get to 60, is there any line, 40 plus once you get shield slam and some of the deeper prot talents? Is prot at all viable? Maybe prot is the play. Like you're more slower, but you'll get to 60 with a higher certainty chance. I don't know.
I mean, about that.
I mean, it's survivability too, right? Like it's last stand. If you have something on you, you have that 5-second stun. Shield block. It helps you not die. A revenge stun is huge. I love revenge stun so much. You could like almost stun lock a mob all the way dead. Like you'd take almost no damage. Like that might actually be the secret sauce. Thinking about it,
that's what I'm saying. This is making.
I just think about Melron on his prop paladin back in the day, though.
Oh, let's not talk about my first
you won't
prop paladin. Prop paladin first of all.
Prop warrior. I'm sorry. The prop warrior. Melron's first tune was a war that was like half prot. Was he full prot, or like
I like using shields. I'm gonna put all these points in prot, but then I was using a two-hander.
and then he's using a two-hander. Yeah, and he's like,
I was so bad at the game. But like, so another thing like you said about the prot is also race opens up big time, right? Because everyone goes orc warrior on the horde, right?
Dude,
okay,
Tarn all the way. Tarn.
What about troll though too? Don't sleep on troll, dude.
True.
Berserking,
killing.
Come
beasts,
on, man.
I don't know that.
I just know
that War Stomp War Stomp has saved my ass so many times.
Regen. Yeah.
War Stomp though, dude. Come
I agree. It's good. I'm not, but yeah, out of combat to the regen, exactly. So like all these little things that like, War Stomp's OP. But I'm not going to say it's not. But I think Troll's the best hunter pick, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
I think it's better than Tauren.
Yo, you know how you like leveling as Wrestler Shaman too in Melron? I remember I watched a video of yours like a year ago.
Oh man, that was a rough leveling. Yeah.
But I'm saying in hardcore, maybe you'd want to be that, bro, because you literally can heal yourself so much that you're just not gonna die. What's gonna kill you out in the open world? It may take a while, but ultimately the goal is to get to 60. It's not about how fast. You're just trying to get there to 60 and get verified and do all that. And you may be like the most loved guy ever for doing a dungeon run in hardcore. People are gonna be like, yo, we need Melderon on the dungeon. He's actually Resto,
Yeah. You know what I would really love to see is like months down the line, 2 months, 3 months from now, enough people get 60 that you could do like an MC run.
Oh my god!
Could you imagine that?
Oh my god! Delete your
that'd be so cool.
Die in MC. The saddest thing
I think no.
Or even a UKRS or whatever.
Oh, just do it with HC characters. I like that. Yeah.
Just HC. Yeah,
just HC. That's legit.
What people actually made it.
Oh man, you have to have an HC character.
Oh.
Dude, that would be crazy. That would be so crazy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. I love and then you can have like one that you just try to get your guy up to level 19 or whatever, and then you have like a PvP extravaganza where everyone just kills each other. I love something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, written leveling guides would be allowed, Jamie, but here's the thing, dude. They're kind of outdated though if you're trying to do
Yeah,
hardcore, because a lot of them are going to
absolutely.
make you do dangerous stuff. Like at least in
Kill
my Classic
yourself,
Live
some of
one,
them do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have to death hop. Sometimes they tell you to explore a place at too low of a level because what's the problem? You just die. It's all good, right? None of those guides for professions, for leveling, for anything are optimized around anything hardcore. It's basically like a whole nother frontier. The game is buffed like 100x. The your character is nerfed. The world is stronger. It's more immersive. Like it's everything. It's everything. It's everything.
Billy makes a good point here. I think if I get to 60, I'm never going to log back on him until TBC and then go to 70.
That'd be crazy,
There you go.
Yo.
And
dude.
here's the thing that makes this work, guys. That IMO, and it started off with selfish. This started off with selfish aspirations. I wanted to do something that was good stream content. That was originally the idea why I wanted to do an Iron Man to begin with, because I thought, hey, it'd be kind of cool to like level with one life. But I also think that is the secret that makes it viable, because it's fun to watch and fun to play. And you can make any kind of challenge in the world, but if it's not fun to watch and fun to play, and it doesn't like promote streaming and community and all that, it's never really going to get a whole bunch of traction, right? So hopefully with this formula, it's fun to watch and fun to play. It creates funny highlights. I fell off of Thunderbluff. Everybody was laughing at me. Right? I died. Like you're just face planted, and people's reactions when they lose their one character are pretty insane. You make a big play in a cave and you escape by the hair on your chinny chin chin. Like someone clips that shit. Like or even just I naked killed Hager because I had to vendor all my gear because I was so broke. All the clips that you get from it are dope. I'm telling you. And in the Discord right now, there's a death clip section and a highlight reel. So if something really cool happens to you because everybody's recording it, you're gonna have those clips available to you, and you can post them in there. Everybody can react to them. It's gonna be cool.
Oh, dude, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I can't wait to do this, man.
I think it's great. Like I've played a lot of Diablo hardcore. That's my preferred method for that, and it's the same. It's the same thing. It totally changes how you play. Everything is so much more important. Yeah, I think it's a really good idea. I can't wait to see what people do with it. Honestly, it's gonna be fun.
I just read Dead of Night Undercity Elevator. How many times have you guys died in the elevator? I've died.
I've
just
actually
in
never died to
Classic
that.
alone. Are you serious?
We might
Never
have
died
to
to
make
an
an
alone.
exception.
I've
You
already
really
died
delete
on
your
my
character?
priest. On my priest, I've died 4 times on that fucking
Can't
elevator.
they kind of glitch out though? Do you really delete your character?
That's
if you fall
yes,
down?
that's technically a bug.
You
That's
clip-
technically
No, it's not.
It's not.
No,
Oh.
it's not, because
What do you guys think? If you die to the
what
Undercity
happens
elevator,
is
should you delete
if
your
you're
character?
running into the wall, right? If you're auto running into the wall, you can
Oh.
click the doorway, and
He's
that's
right.
how you
He's
die.
right, Cargos. He's right. It's your fault. It's your fault.
It's
Yeah.
your fault.
100%
It's always
of the time,
I've
though?
always done it by auto running into the wall. So I'll auto run right into the elevator thing, and then you clip the top, and your character gets stuck there, and then you drop. So it's your
Yeah.
fault for auto running into
Yeah,
the wall.
he's absolutely right. People are agreeing. Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's totally because you're auto running into the door.
Okay,
That's why.
okay.
That's
it
why
feels like a
happens.
bug when it happens
Yeah.
sometimes.
It's
but...
not. No.
All right, so you're basically making the Undercity elevator great again. You're making that content.
Yeah.
That's content.
Yeah.
You have to think about that.
Yeah.
Like, what if you
Yeah.
lose your guy to the Undercity elevator? How mad are you going to be? Like, this is what I'm saying. Basically, the world becomes more realistic. That's going to be the new little nugget right there. The World of Warcraft becomes more realistic, like the dangers of it. Right? If you fall off of Thunderbluff, you're dead.
Yeah.
If you Undercity elevator, you're dead. If you
You're dead.
drown, fatigue, you're dead. Like,
You're dead.
and it makes you want to play better. Oh man, I don't know. You guys get the message, right? I'm very excited for it.
Yeah,
I'm
for
hoping
sure.
to do this. This will be our beta test right now. Hopefully, Brendan comes through with some dope assets. We'll do it on the 29th. Everybody's invited. We're gonna do a sign up sheet eventually, just so I can get everybody's streams, so we can get POVs and stuff like that. But even if you don't sign up, you can absolutely play. Just make sure you're recording. You're recording your gameplay. And then, if it becomes a thing, we can make adjustments for the next one. Hardcore Community Cup number 2. People can bet who's gonna be the highest level. And then imagine you get some of the other big boy streamers. Imagine Joanna plays. Somebody go hit Joanna.
Oh, dude, that'd be cool. Yeah, yeah.
Dude,
Pompey.
You know what this reminds me of? Like watching those guys who do like the speed runs on Dark Souls and shit like that. Like if you get one bad move, like one bad thing, bad luck, respawn, something like that. Like something happens where you get a bad crit or anything like that. Like you see how hurt and how devastated people get, and it's like it just makes everything so much more on the edge of your seat, And I love that. And like I can't thank you again, Cargos, for this whole fucking this whole reinvigoration of it, man. It just feels like I've gotten more into it. I know Meldron has. I know a lot of people have, and it's just like
thank you for getting into it, man.
Dude,
like, this
yeah,
is really,
yeah,
it makes me so happy to see that other people actually are down, and actually kind of take it seriously.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a whole.
It's going to be
whole
great,
thing,
dude.
Yeah.
I just put a link of one of the dev clips from Jamin. It's so funny, dude. I just put it in the YouTube chat.
Yeah.
So yeah, just that's an example of like what can happen, dude. You aren't paying attention, and then all of a sudden shit spawns behind you, and then you're dead. Like. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, getting some of the big streamers, and also Horde versus Alliance. Who's going to take it? Isn't that going to be another thing too? If people, the people are going to be like, go Horde, go Alliance. Which streamer within the faction? Yeah, that's a whole other aspect of it, to the faction wars of it. The idea has so much potential, and honestly, the broader idea is that pretty much Classic WoW is a sandbox. We can do whatever we want. That's the broader idea. This is a great thing that we can do. But if you have other ideas too for another gameplay mode, or if you want to do arenas in Gurubashi or something, go out and do it, man. The great equalizer is being able to stream and record content so easily and share content so easily, and stuff like having Discord right at our fingertips. This is the special sauce that allows us to do it. We don't need Blizzard to do it. We don't need Blizzard to do whatever we want. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah, it's such a grassroots thing. I love it, man. So like, I'm so excited for tonight, dude. I'm gonna come. We're gonna have some awesome barbecue tonight. Melderon and I, we're going out to a place called Sweet Lucy's. Coming back and doing my first Iron Man, baby. Hardcore, not Iron Man.
I'll be watching, man. It's so fun to watch this stuff, man. It's so fun.
Dude, I can't wait. Yeah. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Let's wrap up, though, guys. Again, thank you for those of you out there, the few of you that believe and want to join the Discord. This is pretty much the Discord. I'm gonna keep putting it in here, and once you can practice for the tournament on the 29th, and just pretty much want to get involved, because we could use all the help we could get pretty much on it. And yo, Ayle, thank you very much for being here, man. Sorry if we were hogging the just the floor or whatever, but we appreciate you being here and sharing your insights, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm a quiet guy. I'll try and get in there more, but I hope everybody has a good time in BWL, and I look forward to this hardcore challenge.
Yeah, and definitely make sure to check out Ayle at twitch.tv/AyleGaming. I'll put it in the chat.
Absolutely, me too. Yeah, the number one way you can support GMA, guys, if you could do me a big personal favor right now, I mean, of course, participate in the hardcore challenge, but follow the guests. If you like what Ayle has to say, I mean, who doesn't like what he has to say? Check him out. He's a very knowledgeable guy, cleared Max back in the day. Here's his Twitch. Go support him to make it worth the guest time to be on the show. So if you guys could do that, I appreciate that. Just hit him with a follow, hit him with a sub, something. Yeah, you have a Discord or anything too, Ayle, or no?
No.
Okay.
No Discord.
No Discord. Well, you guys have any final closing thoughts? Dev Camp, Melderon, Ayle, anything?
I just can't wait for tonight, dude. If you guys want to come join us, you know where to find me on the Def Camp Melderon channel or on Twitch. Twitch.tv/DefCamp.
Yep. And I'll be streaming tomorrow, twitch.tv/Melderon for my shaman. And guys, just like I just do me a favor. If you've ever I've never steered you guys wrong. I feel like I know Def Camp. I never steer you wrong, do I?
No, he never has. Right? He really never has. Yeah.
Just give it a shot. Yeah. That's all. Just give it a shot.
HTTP.
Yeah, please do. Have an open mind, guys. I really think it's going to be more addicting and fun than you might think. You might think, and what's the harm? You can just make a new guy. Like, you're not really, you lose nothing, right? Just try it out for a couple hours. Give it a shot.
Yeah.
And Melderon, by the way, guys, kind of sleeper cell here. He's one of in the lead right now. At least out of all the creators with the levels. Because what level are you, man?
I'll be 14. I have like one bar to go to 14.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Never mind. So
but the problem is I can only stream on the weekends, so it's gonna be really slow.
Yeah, Melderon's doing really good. He's still on his first character. He hasn't died yet, which is really impressive. That he's
you really get to see shamans are actually pretty damn strong early on, man.
Super strong.
Yeah.
He's just blowing mobs up with like Earth Shock and Lightning Bolt and shit, dude. It's insane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. You know where to find Def Camp and Melderon most likely, but if you don't, let me know. Message me. They're gonna put it in the chat and stuff.
Cargos, if you can, try to. Josh is streaming his last episode of C2C right now.
Oh, should we host him?
Yeah, dude.
On Twitch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, fucking A, yeah.
Okay. We're gonna host Josh from Countdown to Classic, dude. He's the legend. We hung out with him at BlizzCon. It was pretty much the most high quality podcast in the classic space, even more production value than us for sure. And he has an amazing show. Everybody knows him, right? So I'm gonna host him. Guys, have a great weekend. I'll probably be streaming later tomorrow, more hardcore mode, the best mode. See you guys later.
See you.